And so that adds time to the process. And even if you had the election earlier too, and just to give an idea, like let's say if you hypothetically did it in March, you'd be right up against, the April deadline. Every time you redraw a map, you've got to have, it triggers, an additional public hearing. So, city attorney will have to look into that about contingency maps, but I don't know that it would actually be possible.
Yeah, I think what I would say is determine if that's what you want to do first. And if that's what you want to do, then you can ask staff to look at different options as to what might be possible. And then we can explore legal possibilities, because we'd be speculating at this point. It's a weird situation. Like I said, under normal circumstances, if you brought it in June, it would affect the November election. But how do you conduct an election when you have 4 districts instead of a map with 4 districts instead of a map with 5? Maybe there's an answer to that question. I'd have to look into it.
Well, there was some confusion as to how many votes does it take to get something like that on the ballots. So for some reason, the information I got in the past that we need to have 4 votes to have something like this be put on the.
It's 3. It's 3 votes, a majority vote.
Well, unfortunately, that's the misinformation I received. So, thank you.
I have a question for city attorney or city manager. When is the election candidate that they need to fill out the form? Is this start somewhere in July timeframe? I know the deadline you just mentioned is about in August.
Yes. So the nomination period generally begins the second week of July.
Okay.
However, we are legally obligated to publish, a notice of for the nomination period, and that needs to be done before a certain amount of time before the nomination period opens. So technically, we would need to know by the end of June as to what what we're actually going to be getting nominations for, and that'll be contingent upon what seats are open.
So my question is this: okay, by June, let's say that the voter approve, and then do we have enough time from? You said by the end of June, you have to publish to the 5 different districts so that the candidates can run for whichever district that they prefer to. Do you think within that time frame, less than 30 days? I don't think it's even 30 days there, probably 2 weeks time frame for us to do all kind of, public hearings and things to draw a map for 5 different districts. So bottom line, the answer is no. If you were to have an election in June, you still have to wait for the Registrar of Voters Office to certify the results of the election, in which I believe they have up to like the 4th, I forgot what day of the week it was, but they have an extended period of time to certify those results. So they could certify in 2 weeks, they could take the entire time. We don't know. But that being said, we couldn't do anything until the votes are certified. And as far as the public hearings go, we have to notice them. So there are requirements for that. We can't do 10-day noticing if we only have like 2 weeks to cram for public hearings. So it's just not possible. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So again, I think maybe the question is this something that the council wants to put on? And then if that is the case, then we would explore what does that mean? Because we'd have to try and figure some way to make that happen, because something has to be done one way or the other. If it gets voted on and approved, assuming it does, then there has to be a process of filling those seats. So the answer can't just be that there's no answer. We'd have to figure out what that is. It's a very unusual situation given the fact that we're having to draw district maps right now.
Well, hearing from the interim city manager that it's impossible to get that thing done by the time that the candidates apply or filling out the application. So with that, we know that it's impossible to do it. Then why we have to vote on it now and then put it on the ballots? Because it's unreasonable. It's unreasonable for us to do so.
I would like to answer, see if we can find out the answer to the question of the contingency map. Since we don't know, or you don't know about that, can we find out?
Well, how long does it take to get the answer?
Well, I would consult with the election law experts with respect to districting and get their input on the concept of basically what it sounds like you're proposing would be hold the same public hearings and adopt two maps as part of that process and be very clear in saying, okay, the main thing is to adopt 4-district map with it at large, but at the same time, because the council has already taken action to put a matter on the ballot that deals with 5 districts, we need to adopt this in the event that passes. And so everybody knows there's 2 maps. It would have to be some clear, distinct process.
Let me ask you a legal question, sir. If the voters, when are we doing the map? You said before, we have to do it before the
April 7th is the absolute deadline. It has to be completed. Is it possible,
is it legally for us to do the 5-district map when we have not got the approval, the voter approval for us to proceed with the 5-district? Is it legal or not legal for us to use the money to draw the 2 different maps and then conduct different hearings while the voters have not approved or have not got the chance to approve for the 5 districts?
Yeah, I think that's the question. I think it's problematic I definitely think it would not be a good idea to do it unless actually there was a vote to put we knew that there was a ballot measure going at minimum. But even then it's not approved. So you're right, it's contingent. It's speculative. So that's a question we need to look at.
Well, we might put our name on the map. There's going to be a case law that we're going to set precedent to have a 2 maps in contingent. So there's I think it might work, but the issue right here is do we have support from the city council to basically approve it and then work on the detail later? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So time is in the essence right now. So
yeah, I think we need to get some answers to those questions. If we don't know, then I think we need to, if council wants to go forward with this, we at least need to have the information of these questions. If it doesn't work, it don't work. So it seems like there's some questions that we don't know the answer to.
I think that we have another option to defer this item to the next meeting. So the city attorney, they go to look into it and they come back with the answer.
It's a time of the essence right now. I think it's a rotational mayor and 5 district is good for the city. I think it would bring peace and harmony to the community. So time in essence right now. So I would like to make a motion to have ask the city council to approve this the rotational mayor and
So let me just say that we would need to come back with a resolution that formally
Right.
calls the election. So what we would, assuming the council wanted to do this, you would direct staff to prepare the appropriate resolution and come back.
Right.
And at the same time, we would come back with try to answering your question.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If we don't have it at time, we don't have it at time. There's nothing. If it's not legal, or it not, it cannot be done, then we have to accept that. But
Keep in mind, sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, keep in mind, when you're going to call for the election, though, we would need a date for that. And anything that's outside the general municipal election right now would be considered a special election. So if you were to go in June, you would consolidate. But if you go anything before that, it would be a standalone election.
I understand.
Well, there's this, did you make a motion?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
You knew how. Yep.
That motion was made by Councilmember Doe and a second from Councilmember Monzo, and that was to have staff prepare the appropriate resolution. So Councilmember Doe,
Yes.
Councilmember Ho,
Can I go last? Come back.
Councilmember,
I think that we
Councilmember.
need to go by order, right? City Clerk?
You have to?
Yes, please.
In order for this change to be made, it would require a majority vote of the people to place the measure on the ballot. So, prior to today, I can tell you that I was not going to vote for this. But I have to remind myself, and it is true, that it is just to put it on the ballot. And I really believe that the people have the right to vote. And I do see the pros and cons. And I do see what we like to, it's very easy to go with the status quo. But then again, if we don't, what exactly is the problem? And why do we? And what is prompting us to do, to make a difference or to make a change? Well, I think I'm going to let the people decide. So I'm going to vote yes. Put it on the ballot to let the people decide.
Councilmember Monzo,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nguyen,
Like I heard it from the city attorney and interim city manager. It's nearly impossible for us to go ahead and do it. And at the same time, I'm pretty sure that if we go with contingent map, 2 map at the time, I don't think that is right, because of the voters. We have to respect the voters. The voters have to vote it first before we can proceed the next step. So with that, I don't think it can be done. So my vote is no.
okay, and Mayor Ta.
No, because like the time, I don't think we have enough time for that. All right.
That motion carried 3-2 with Vice Mayor Nguyen and Mayor Ta voting no.
Thank you. So next item, 6.3, continue from October 13, 2021 meeting, request for nepotism policy for boards, commission, and committee. So for the last meeting, we didn't have time to discuss, and I think city attorney. Oh, sorry. In the room, city manager, you have anything to explain to that policy, to this policy, or city attorney, or anything?
No, this was
already understand. Oh, sorry.
no, this was already discussed at the September 22nd meeting. And so
Already
council had already, directed staff to come back with an ordinance. So this is just the draft ordinance for first reading.
All right. So any member from city council have any concerns or any question?
I just want to say that I think this is a good policy. I think, as I remember, Mayor Todd brought this forward, so thank you. I think we should have had this a long time ago. I think I would have liked it to have been part of a more comprehensive code of ethics, but it is what it is. I just want to say that I think we need to be fair to, I think we had some other policies or issues where it was adopted and it was not going to take effect until the new election. I think it was for the term limits or something like that. I think this is a good policy, but I think we need to make this for any new appointees to make this start from there for any new appointments that this would take effect. So I don't know when that would be. I don't know. We have when is commissions and committees up, the term up.
So commissions and committees, those appointments take place in January after an election. So it wouldn't be until January of 2023. But keep in mind, we do have vacancies. And so this policy, you would have to determine, if it's going to affect those vacancies as well. Just for a timeline of this, we're introducing this for first reading today, and then actual adoption will be on November 10th. If you push it through first reading tonight, and it will be in effect 30 days after that. So that puts you, early December.
So the verbiage just has to state whether it's for a date or it's for a new appointees.
That is correct. You would, if it is the council's wish to, you would need to, make those, you would need to decide when this would be in effect if you're going to have it affect, future appointees.
Yeah, I think just to be fair to the people, the members of committees and boards who are there now, it needs to just be for any new appointees. That's how I feel about it. I don't know how anybody else feels about it.
I second that.
I don't see why, when we come up with policy, we can go ahead and apply it to the new as well as, those people who are there right now. I mean, it's why we have to, I don't see the reason why, we can do it. If we have the policy, we have the right to ask the person to leave. If that's conflict with what we are, trying to adopt now.
Yeah, like I said, I agree, but I think we should have had this long before. I don't think there was a problem before. So I think it's just to be fair, this needs to just apply to any new appointees. I mean, that wasn't a problem back a few years ago, whenever it was, last year, the year before. So I think it needs to just be, I wish it would have adopted sooner, a few years ago, but it didn't. So.
If I may speak real quick, again, this is very foundational. This is where we need policy. Policy. Policy is just like a holy land. We do everything within policy. The law will protect us. So we do need policy, and this is something that the city of Westminster is lack of. Okay, we need more policy, and this is one of the another great one, and I totally support it. Just like anything else, we have in this country we have something we call grandfather rules. So let's wait until the next appointment and then uniformly apply it consistently. So it's only a couple more months before the year end. So I totally support the recommendation to apply in the next appointment.
I think you didn't hear the interim city manager correctly when you say a couple more months. It is actually going through next year in November of next year, not November of this year.
Yeah, like I said, just
It would start with the next appointment.
yeah, it's all new.
Right.
I think it's to be fair to the
We don't want to target people.
correct. So
Based on what I'm hearing, what I would suggest is that in the proposed draft resolution that you've got here, you would add a section 6 that would say, this policy shall only apply to individuals who are appointed to a position on or after October 27th, 2021.
okay, I'll make that motion. The city attorney just mentioned to add that policy, add that section 6 to apply from when did you say?
It's an ordinance, city
An
attorney. So
Excuse me. Yeah, so it'd be section
So-
6 of the ordinance.
So who is in the commission for different commission? I don't know the other commission, but who is in the planning commission right now that have the relatives?
But I mean that I mean like based on based on the policy that elected official all I mean like all the commission or committee position, they are at will. Am I right?
yes,
Yes,
They-
they serve
they
as
serve-
the chair of the majority of the council.
that is correct.
So Vice Mayor, you have any concerns?
Yeah, I want to ask staff, for all the commission, right now, commission and committee right now that we have, can you tell me, is there any of their family related members do you know of?
Didn't we have that issue like 2019 when we talked about it?
Yes, we have that issue in 2019. That's why it's not happening anymore. But I'm asking a question right now from city
Your
manager
daughter-
or any staff. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
help me to
I
understand?
think the Vice Mayor have the right to ask a question. Yes, please.
Can you help us to understand if there is any committees or commission are related to the city council at this point
So
that you know
our
of?
applications do ask if anyone is related. I don't have the applications in front of me right now. But if you are interested in knowing the roster of the planning commissioners at the moment, I can read the roster of who's on the planning commission.
I'm pretty sure we all know who's on there.
Mhm.
So is this just show?
So
Could we vote? I think we do a
let the
second, right?
city manager respond.
City,
The Vice Mayor concerns, please.
Give me a second. I need to pull it up. I don't have it conveniently in front of me.
While you look, city attorney, so the current planning commission, or as vice mayor's targeting, were they not appointed legally and by the right process?
Yeah, there's nothing illegal about the process of appointment.
So I don't understand the issue.
So the
I'm
commission,
asking a
Not
question.
making an issue with it. I think we should just vote because
Okay.
today
No,
on
no,
the
no.
agenda, item
Please,
6.3,
I
we
mean,
have
I have to be fair, Any
You're
council.
not being fair. You're not being fair. I think you're not being fair. We're,
You're muted.
Okay, so in a room,
You're muted.
city manager, is there any way that you can respond quickly, please?
Sure. Planning Commission members currently, Weston Seed, Quinn Yao Win, Whit Pham, and Don Anderson.
And Western Seat is my appointment.
Weston
Okay.
Seed is your appointment, that's
Yes,
correct.
right now, if I see that it's conflicting with the policy, can the appointer, can I take him off?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
How is that? He was voted
Okay,
out.
so that, in the room, city manager already answered the vice mayor concern, am I right?
Can we discuss the detail later? If it's a good policy, you can iron this detail later. You can call.
do the thằng. Hey, you know what?
That policy is in place. And then
He is not in place. He was legally, and he was appointed, and basically this is gonna start in the next appointment. And I think we already said that.
Okay, let me
And you know
understand
what? If
something.
you're targeting him, you're gonna hear from our attorney.
Wait,
That's
just-
okay.
May I ask a question since we
Councilmember Taido, yes, please.
already talked about this. We talked about it in 2019. Okay, so Vice Mayor Nguyen, you appointed Councilwoman Kimberly Ho's son into the commission and vice versa. So is your daughter still in one of the commission?
That was,
I let the inner room city manager respond. I think that.
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, so that's a fair question. So inner room city manager.
She is not serving on any commission, no.
Okay, so
But I did not remove her. Basically, she quit on her own, didn't she?
She just didn't apply.
Oh, how long ago was that?
That was for this round of appointments in January. She did not apply for reappointment.
Okay, on her own.
I have a question. So weren't they appointed by a council majority? Wouldn't it take a council majority to remove somebody?
I'm trying to look at the bylaws for.
Actually,
of the commission.
I can answer that question.
Okay,
It's actually in the municipal code.
Okay.
Under 2.44020 membership, the planning commission shall consist of 5 regular members, each of whom shall be nominated by a council member and appointed by the city council. So you nominate and then the council appoints in accordance with the procedures established by council resolution. And then the next section B says any member of the planning commission may be removed from office by a majority vote of the council. So there's a nomination and a vote to appoint, and then there's a vote of a majority to remove.
All right, thằng. Hey, you know what? Thằng.
May I say
Mày là thằng
something?
hèn, mày ơi.
you hand.
Mày là thằng hèn, mày ơi.
You know what,
I mean, like, I want everyone to respect each other, please.
Councilman Nguyen, if you have an issue with that, you can put that on the agenda next time, okay?
I think that's fair, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate from Councilman Ludo, yeah.
Heck out of you. We will sue the heck out of you.
Okay, can we move on?
All right, so we have the motion and second to approve this item.
I need a second.
So who-
I motion, I thought we already did that.
All right.
Yeah, we
This
had-
has to take place for new appointees.
Right. So the language I think was that this policy shall only apply to individuals appointed on or after October 27th, 2021, which is today.
So I think I motioned or.
All right, so roll call vote. We have a motion and second.
Okay. And that was to introduce an ordinance for first reading entitled an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Westminster, California, adding chapter 2.69 committees and commissions generally to Title II, Administration and Personnel of the Westminster Municipal Code regarding nepotism on boards, committees, and commissions, read by title only and waive further reading with the addition of Section 6 to apply to new appointees effective October 27, 2021. Councilmember Doe?
Yes.
Councilmember Ho?
Yes.
Councilmember Monzo?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nguyen? You're muted.